Hi there everyone, it's Misty here. Welcome to my 6-month recap, whatever you want to call it, for my Keto Reboot. So if you're new here, welcome. I rebooted keto the 1st of January. So let me kind of give you a TLDR. Started keto March 2017, 425 pounds. Got all the way down to 357 in October of 2018, but as I went into the hospital for DKA because of Farxiga, had to go back on insulin in the spring of 2019, gained almost all my weight back, and started this year at 409. So my goal through all of this hasn't necessarily been a number on the scale. It's been to get back off insulin. I managed to do it the first time around, and having to go back on it was really hard for me. So I've been really struggling to get back off of it. So when I started the year, I was taking 100 units of insulin every night, and my goal was to be completely off insulin by June, and that hasn't happened. So let me start with the numbers, and I'll show you kind of what. So when I started, my averages were in high 160s, maybe 180s. I don't have it in front of me, but this morning I took my 7-day average was in the 140s, my 15-day average was in the 150s, and my 30-day average was in the 160s. My ketones are 0.4. So I had some of the Halo Top salted caramel the other night, and I'm pretty sure that's what knocked my ketones down. So as far as my weight, I weigh 386, which is basically what I've weighed probably all of June and maybe even the end of May. I can't really remember, which is good because I didn't go up, but I also haven't gone down. But I'm currently on 60 units of insulin. So I've been able to deduct 40 units of insulin from my nighttime routine. So I know a lot of people would consider that a fail, and I just consider it a hiccup. So I mentioned in my last update, I think it was has update, last week ago Friday, I don't even remember, that I had done very well for about 3 months. I hadn't had any cheat meals because we weren't eating out. I was cooking twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day, and we were staying home and just not going out. Well, when Texas started to lift things up, we started eating out a couple of times, and a couple of those times I went off plan. The first time was after I filmed my Dear White People video, which I have since turned off the comments. I'm not taking it down because I said what I said. I don't take any of it back. I stand by what I said, but YouTube has stopped telling me that I'm getting comments on it, and there were some doozies, so I just turned the comments off. It's not a well-performing video. Anyway, I lost about, 150 people. Again, at the end of the day, I stand by what I said. It is what it is. So anyway, that night after I had filmed that video, I had tamales and I had chicken strips. And then a few days later, I had pizza. And then a few days, like a week before last, I had pizza on Tuesday and Chinese food on Thursday. And I haven't had another cheat meal since. So it's been a couple of weeks. I've been doing my best not to eat my feelings, but it's been really rough. One thing that's really been irksome for me is, so Texas opened, which we realized was a mistake, and now we're closing back down because people won't wear a motherfucking mask and refuse. I don't know if you guys saw the clip of the woman literally throwing her groceries out of her cart because she was asked to wear a mask. Just wear a mask, people. Seriously. So anyway, it's been really stressful, so we've stopped eating out again, but the one thing that I cannot avoid is going to the doctor. So my rheumatologist would not refill my prescription unless I went to go see her. So I went and saw her on Monday. And of course, I didn't see her. I saw her nurse practitioner, which doesn't make any damn sense because the nurse practitioner comes and talks to me, then she goes and talks to the doctor, and then she comes back to me. It's like, why don't you just send the doctor in? Anyway, So they're changing my medication. I'm moving from methotrexate, which is pills. I take 8 pills every Monday, to an injectable. So it's either going to be Injectable or Humira. So one of the two. I was like, okay, fine, whatever. So I had tried to fill my prescriptions from my regular doctor, which is Celebrex, my like cyclobenzaprine, which is my Flexeril, which is my muscle relaxer. It's basically what I use to take to sleep, and then Tramadol, and I had to go in. So I was like, well, can I do telemed? And she was like, yeah. And then she was like, oh, no, you have to come in if you want your Tramadol. And you guys, for about 5 minutes there, I was like, I'll just stop taking Tramadol. I'm not going in. Because the one thing that is I don't think it's their fault. They're just regurgitating what they've been told. But she was like, well, we don't see sick patients. And it's like, I get that. I get that you're taking temperatures and you're turning people away who have a fever. But they're already in the building, number one. And number two, what did we learn from that family in Carrollton? If you missed it, there was a family in Carrollton who had a birthday party. One guy had the cough or sneeze or whatever, and he didn't realize he was infected. And everybody, like 10 people left, were infected and infected 8 more people. And that's how it spreads. That's how it keeps going. And people are like, well, I'm fine. Well, they may come in and not be having any symptoms and not even know that they've been exposed. And then you bring somebody like me in who is immune compromised, and a lot of his patients are elderly. So you're bringing in these people who have compromised immune systems into a very, very tiny waiting room. And even if you only keep 1 or 2 people in there at a time and people aren't wearing their mask, although my rheumatologist required that you had to have a mask on when you went in, but still, it's just the whole point of things. And like I said before, I just feel like I've been bullied into going to see the doctor. Now with him, I did have the choice, and my choice was to stop taking Tramadol. And I talked to Rob about it, and I said, I'm going to go this time. And another reason why I want to go is because when I had my blood work drawn for my endocrinologist at the beginning of June, LabCorp missed the A1C. So I know my doctor will do an A1C because I'm really interested to know how my blood sugar has been doing. So that is probably the silver lining of all this. But it's just, I'm terrified for my life. I'm literally terrified for my life. And people are so blasé about wearing a mask. And I just don't understand it. And I don't know if I talked about this in my last video or not, but my friend Sarah lives in Seattle. She's also immune compromised, but she's an essential worker. She works in healthcare. And for some reason, she had to come to Dallas. She didn't really say why, but she flew in DFW. And she's coming from Seattle. And Seattle is one of the hubs, kind of like New York City, where it's, very bad. And they're taking major precautions. And she said that she got so many people were so vile to her. One person said, your snowflake mask isn't going to save you, or something like that. And I'm just like, when did wearing a mask become political? This isn't about political parties. This is about keeping everybody safe. This is about, you want to go back to normal, but we can't go back to normal in the US until we flatten the curve again. And what have we done? We have 40,000 new cases like almost every day. And it's so aggravating. And people like me, and there are millions of us, we're basically in danger. And all that you're asked to do is wear a mask, just a piece of cotton over your face when you're out in public around other people. And I just don't understand why that's such an issue. So that's why I'm really worried about going to the doctor. So I'm starting the Humira, and they're like, well, you need to come back so we can teach you how to give yourself a shot. And I was like, I give myself a shot every single day. I said, I know how to use a pen. I know how to use the syringe. And she's like, well, we really want you here. And I'm just like, God damn it. It's like, I don't want to go. So I don't know, maybe I'm acting like a petulant, is that how you say that word? Maybe I'm acting like a child, but it's just like, I'm doing the best I can to stay safe. We are doing all that we can do to stay safe and stay healthy. and knock on wood that, we haven't, every time I get a sniffle, every time, my throat hurts a little bit, I'm terrified. And luckily, knock on wood, so far, it's just been sinuses or allergies. But still, it's like, it just really, really scares me. And I'm taking it very, very seriously while other people's aren't. So having to go to the doctor and go out in public has been very, 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 very stressful. So trying to not turn to food has been very difficult. So as far as how the 6 months has gone, I feel like I've made pretty decent progress. I mean, I've lost 20 pounds, 23 pounds, yeah. Lord Jesus, Misty, math. I cannot math today. I cannot math any day. Let's just be for real. 23 pounds. So I'm down 23 pounds. I'm down 40 units of insulin. And I think that I'm doing okay. So I took it as a snarky comment. Maybe the person didn't have any malicious intent behind it. But it kind of came across snarky and malicious. And it was like, why are you so desperate to get off insulin if you don't care about losing weight? And it's not that I don't care about losing weight. But one cannot happen without the other. So I will never be able to lose weight consistently like I need to while I'm on insulin. It's just not going to happen. And the only way for me to get off insulin is to be very, very, very low carb carnivore. And just having to be so super consistent with it. And even then it might not work. Because that's the one thing. The night I went and got tamales and stuff, it's like I had been so consistent for over 90 days and I just wasn't seeing the results that I thought I should be seeing. And that's one of the hard things for me is like, if I'm putting in all this effort, and I'm not seeing any kind of results, whether it's on the scale, whether it's with ketones, whether it's with, blood sugar, it can be very, 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 very frustrating. So, and I've had a couple of moments of weakness and it just is what it is at this point. So I don't consider the last 6 months a fail. I consider it, slow progress, and I know what I want to do for the rest of the year. So I am going to restart counting macros next week because we're all go shopping this weekend and I'll sit down and kind of make a meal plan. And I am going to do 2,000 calories a day, but I'm going to try to eat at a deficit. And I think I'm going to do 80, 15, 5. So 80% fat, 15% protein, 5% carbohydrates. And we'll see if that helps anything. And the reason why I've decided to do that is because of the success I had the first 5 months? I started in March, and by August, September, I was basically almost all the way off insulin. So 5 or 6 months. So the hope is, and the goal is that it will kind of speed up the process that has been, to this point, very, very slow. So will that happen? I don't know. There's so many factors that go into causing elevated blood sugar. Like I said, I've had a sinus headache the last couple of days and my blood sugar has been a little higher when I've been, like my fasting blood sugar has been a little bit higher. Monday, I don't know what the hell was wrong with me, but woke up, went to the doctor, came home, and I had such a headache. So I took some medicine and I slept for probably 3 hours, got up for an hour, went back to sleep for a couple hours, got up, cooked dinner, and then we were back in bed like at 10. So I don't know. And I just woke up Tuesday not feeling very well either. So it could have been the weather because we got in some storms the other day. It could be allergies. It could be literally anything that will cause, your blood sugar to elevate. And that's what's so flippin' frustrated about it is that there's really no way, there's no way of knowing what caused it. So it's been really frustrating. I've just felt really, really frustrated. And so I've just been trying to take it one day at a time. This morning, so yesterday I cooked up a little bit, what I called a mess, but it was like a little bit of bell pepper, a little bit of onion, a little bit of mushroom, and then some roast beef and cooked it all together. Had that for lunch. I'm going to have some more of it for today's lunch. For dinner, I made my roast with garlic cream sauce and green beans. This morning I had a bulletproof coffee. So I'm really trying to be as clean and as low carb as possible. I haven't had any more of that Halo Top ice cream, and I won't for the foreseeable future. I'm also going to try to go as clean as possible with what I eat, meaning, try to avoid keto foods that are more lazy keto, not kind of, you know what I mean? Like the Aldi bread, which is delicious, but I feel like I want to go without it for the next couple of weeks, even though I have probably 10 loaves in the freezer. I really want to focus on clean eating and just getting back to where I'm fat adapted and I can, go all day without eating. I can eat once a day. I want to get kind of back to that. And I feel like if I'm counting macros and I'm paying closer attention, hopefully that will help. And we'll give it a month. And if that's not working, we'll try something else. So another couple of comments that I got was, why don't I eat vegetables? I eat vegetables. Like I've said, I try to eat intuitively, which means I eat when I'm hungry and I eat what my body is physically craving. So like if I crave like nachos, that is not a physical craving, that is a mental craving, and there is a difference. So if my body is craving, strawberries, or if I feel like I'm craving zucchini or something like that, and I know that it's not necessarily a mental comfort food kind of thing, I will have those things. I didn't have Rob buy me any strawberries this week because I wanted to see, how I would do without them. And I feel like I've been doing okay. I did have him get some zucchini. Like I said, I had a little bit of pepper, I had a little bit of onion. So I have those things when I want them, but they're not a daily part of my life. I actually feel better when I'm not eating any kind of fiber. And I know a lot of people think that you have to have fiber in your diet to live. You honestly don't, but at the end of the day, you can only believe what you believe. So if that's how you feel, then more power to you. Like I'll never understand why people get so up in arms about how a person chooses to eat. Has zero effect on you, like no effect on you. And veganism works for some people. Some people are fine as doing 100% carnivore. Some people do great on Atkins. Some people do, well on just being a vegetarian. So it's like plant-based. Just let people eat the way they want to eat. There's no way that has to be right. This is the right way to eat. It's like if people can handle what they're eating, just let them eat. I don't understand it. That is the one thing I don't understand. It's why people get so up in arms about how other people are eating when it has literally zero effect on you, on your life, on what you do. It just doesn't make a hill of beans sense to me, and that's okay. So yeah, I'm back to filming my daily meals. I forgot to film my bulletproof coffee this morning, but I'll talk about it. So that really helps me stay accountable. I know that a lot of you guys get some ideas on what to eat when you're doing that. So back to that. So those will go up on Mondays. We'll go back to Wednesdays being my updates. I'm not going to be doing Friday for a little bit because I've been testing kind of pseudo foods, I call them, like ice cream and stuff like that. And I really want to spend the next at least 2 weeks eating as cleanly as possible without any of it. So yeah, sorry if you hear that big truck. I don't know what's happening, but obviously something happening outside. I can't even see. So anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate you. Let me know down below how you're doing, how your 6-month check-in is going in. I didn't do my measurements. Rob and I haven't done that. I need to do that again, and I need to take pictures. That's the one thing that I know I've lost inches because my clothes are bigger than what they are, but and I need to get back to measuring that rather than weighing. And this is the first time I've weighed since I think the end of May. So I weighed in for June and now I'm weighing in for July because it's July 1st. But yeah, so anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Hope you're doing well. Stay safe. Wear a mask. What else? Just, take a deep breath. I have links down below for information and where you can donate or sign petitions for Black Lives Matter. I'm so sorry that I missed talking about Pride Month. So I'm also going to have a link to the Trevor Project. So if you're someone who is struggling, you can reach out to them if you need to. I love you, whether you're short, fat, skinny, tall, black, white, green, purple. You love men, you love women, you don't love anybody, you're asexual. To me, it doesn't matter. We're all humans. We're all the same. We all bleed blood. We all turn to ash at the end of our lives. So yeah, I try to love everybody and treat everybody with respect. So anyway, that's it. This has been all over the place, but I love you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.